the background noises. Okay.
W.J.R.G. Internet radio station, KMI TV, Action First broadcast, new edition 2026.
#1 gospel internet radio station. I'm Dr. Jerry Green, along with my good friend, Dr. Wayne McCray. What's up, my brother?
All right, Doc. How's it going?
Hey, everything is good, brother. And every Thursday, this is Action First broadcast. Every Thursday, we have a special guest, someone who's a blessing to our community. And tonight we have a real estate, what I'm saying it right, a real estate, let me get this right, a property investment, right?
Yes, real estate investor.
Investor. We have my man, brother Lamont Wright. How you doing, brother?
I'm
God
good.
bless
I'm
you.
good.
All right.
Good to be here.
Well, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So this is your first time at WJRG.
Very first time.
All right. Well, let's get started. I know we have a short period of time for this interview. First of all, are you from New Haven, Connecticut? Were you born and raised?
Yes, I was born and raised in Haven.
Okay. What year you were born there, brother? You look kind of young here.
Back in 74.
Okay, 74. Wow. I was the year, I just graduated high school in 73, so you're still a young man. Like the song say, still a young man. All right. Now, what made you get into real estate investment?
My father was kind of into it, and my grandfather, so they got me interested into it.
Okay, all right. So your dad was actually into the real estate business and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he inspired you coming up to do all what you're doing?
Yes, he talked to me, about it, and about buying houses and mortgages and how it works, and back in the 80s, how interest rates used to be so high. And
okay, let's talk about that.
So,
all right, so if someone wanted to buy a house right now,
mm-hmm.
What's the advantage of buying that house that they want? Yeah, that's really a person's dream when they first get married, I guess, to buy a house.
That's the American dream, but it really starts off with the credit. That changes everything. And I always tell my clients, the credit report's like a adult report card.
Right.
A being good, B being not so good, what your credit scores are. And that's how the banks look at things. They look at the credit score and the credit history. That determines how much house you can buy.
Right. So speaking of credit, because I have to admit, when I was young, my mother always tell me when I was young about credit. And it went in with this ear, went out the other ear, right? And I was buying cars back in the day where, when you could buy a car basically with bad credit, but you were paying, double for that car, right? Right. But I had to learn the hard way about credit, about how good credit is, man. So how important is home ownership then?
It's very important. I mean, there's so many things. Once you become a homeowner, first, it's the pride of having something.
That's right.
The main thing. I think it's something goes to keeping your family. You kind of keep some kind of legacy in your family, from a home that, you can pass down to your children and children's children.
Okay. So I guess you're a homeowner and everything. So
yes.
You own any other properties?
Yes, I also have investment properties as well, myself personally. And I do a lot of fix and flips, and I buy a lot of distressed homes.
Okay.
I fix them up and I rent them out.
Wow, that's right. So you're making money doing that then?
Yeah.
Now you mentioned you're a finance consultant.
Yes.
And help people with their retirement. Let's talk about that a little bit. If someone's ready to retire, okay, they're 65 years old, 66, you're ready to retire, what advice would you give them?
Well, first I look at what they have going on,
Okay.
As far as what kind of income they have coming in. And I always like to recommend starting off first is roughly maybe looking at doing a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k. That kind of helps them out and help build their plan, their retirement account.
But that's when they're working or when they retire?
Even when they're working. I like to get people while they're working, And I also like to talk to them even before then, because you can also open up an account for your grandchild.
Okay.
You know, like a custodial Roth IRA account for them. They start off early, you know, and that can grow from us when they get ready to retire. They'll have a nice nest egg to retire.
Okay, but let's say if someone, retired, well, what advice would you give them that if someone came to you for some kind of consultant, just retired or been retired for a while, they want to better themselves.
It all depends what they got going on personally. So I have to look at everything from their credit, what they have with their bank, what they have going on their bank account, they have any money going on in there or not, or they have some kind of pension or any kind of income coming in, disability or whatever. I have to look at everything to see what's what. And that gives me an idea where to place them, you know, for some kind of 401k or IRA or even an annuity. But it all depends what's going on with that person, because everybody's different with different situations going on in their life.
So if a person retired, now they're on their retirement, can they still have a 401k?
Of course.
Okay, I gotta learn more about that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's no age restriction for a 401k.
Okay. How has God blessed you over the years, man?
Oh man, so many things.
Let's give God the glory on this. How has God blessed you and your family?
There's so many things done. There's so many times I even sit back and wonder, things get done. I'm like, wow, I can't believe these things happen. He blessed me so many ways. It's something I can't even think at the top of my head. The key thing is I pray every day.
Okay.
And I ask for guidance, wisdom, and understanding, which helps me get to where I am now.
Okay, if someone wants to get into the real estate market or business, what advice would you give them? Someone young that maybe watching you, see what you're doing, or just want to get into that field. Well, what advice would you give them?
You gotta have that go-getter attitude, and not be afraid to talk to people. Because you're gonna be talking to all different types of people, all different types of walks of life, and you gotta build that confidence to explain things to people, what they want to do and things. But I think real estate is one of the best businesses out there.
Well, that's one thing. I own my own house, but I never really got into. I know people wanted me to come to different seminars and things like that. So I'm 70 now. I don't know if I really want to have the energy to go out there and be that. I'm a hustler. I've always been a hustler.
Okay.
As far as making money, I can do what I got to do. But you got to have the energy. You got to have that drive. Right. To make it work, man. So wow. All right. How can people save money with owning their own home?
Well, start off first
compared to renting, because I know rental, most apartments probably are now about $1,500 a month, maybe more.
Yeah. Some rents are like a mortgage, but it really starts off with finding the right kind of payment plan. You got to start there. And when you sit down with that mortgage person, when you try to apply for their mortgage, they're going to help you with that. They're going to try to determine which is best for you for your situation.
Okay. We're speaking live with my man, brother Lamont Wright. He's say it again. I'm going to get it right. You're a real estate
investor.
Okay.
And financial consultant.
All right. And a consultant. So let's talk about that again. Consulting people, someone who's 50 years old, maybe in the late 50s, and not even thinking about so much retirement. What advice would you give them? Because some people, they don't have that mindset, about, well, I'm still working, but eventually, you got to look at retirement.
Right. First, I'll ask them really, what do they know about retirement? Because sometimes some people have a misunderstanding what they think it is, or they're afraid to do it, or, they have doubts about retirement. But I start off there, what do they think or what do they know about retirement? Then I get more into it to help them understand what it can do to help them in their certain situations they have going on.
Okay, all right, because a lot of people, some people don't make it to retirement. First of all, I mean, thank God that those who are still around, because I knew this one lady I worked with for years at Pratt, and she was looking forward to her retirement. Man, she had all that money saved up, and I used to tell her, you got to spend that money now, you got to spend it. Man, I'm moving to Georgia when I retire. She retired for a week and she died.
Oh,
she had a massive heart attack. Them kids do with that money, right? They just spent that money. Yeah. So some people don't even really get a chance to enjoy their retirement. So exactly. I tell folks too, like I was telling a sister, Sandra over there, I've been doing chemo for over a year. A lot of people don't even realize that, and I retired. Matter of fact, I retired because of my health issues as well. But I really enjoy retirement. because now I get a chance to do what I want to do, without having to getting up and, see my boss every day.
That's right.
And things like that. I can sleep late, watch the game late.
It's all on your time.
I was getting up 5 o'clock, 4:30 every morning for like 40 years. Now, man, 10 o'clock, don't even call me before 10.
If I could jump in there, man, I knew it was going to be epic. I tell you, man, this is a good thing, and it's needed to be expressed and shown to the public, right? One of the things that I look at with retirement and help me with this, because I know there are penalties when you take at 62 versus waiting for Social Security and different things, for your retirement. But there are times now, because people lifespans are being shortened. So I know it's a penalty in taking it early, right? And then so when people waiting to take it at that full capacity and that age, some of them, like Dr. Jerry just said, man, a lot of people, it's not really set up where that people can really enjoy their golden years, right? So what are some of the things that to be able to make moves to retire earlier?
Well, first, what they do now is you can, after 59 and a half, you can take money out. So they changed that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So for your 401ks and IRAs, you can, after 59 and a half,
you can do that, right?
But as far as moves and retiring early, that really depends on what you already have in your retirement account. What I do is I look at and see what they have in their investments. Most companies, they pick out stock investments for their employees. And then some companies, they allow you to do your own investments, where I look and see what's the best plan for them. Some people think individual stocks is the way to go, which is not. I always recommend ETFs. ETFs means exchange traded funds. And what that is it's a basket of stocks all in one. All the major companies are out there all in one stock. Another way I can kind of describe it is like you walk into a mall, and we have all individual stores in the mall. That's for the ETFs. It's got all these stores all in one.
Okay. And you're right, because I remember, Dr. William, when I was 65, and I called Social Security. I wanted to see about this. Lady said to me, because I had like 10 months before I got 66. She said to me, Jerry, to be honest with you, why don't you wait till you're 66 and get your full retirement? You get $200 more a month. And really $200 means a lot when you retire more a month. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about it. I said, man, I'm about to wait 10 more months and get the full retirement, for which she gave me, which is true. So that was a good question.
One other nugget, I preached a message with the stages of life, right? And I had a graphic, because I'm analytical when I preach. I try to give them a visual and everything too. And so I had posted up an image of an infant all the way to a senior citizen. And the senior citizen had the cane and a briefcase. But listen at this. One of the young kids, 11 years old, raised her hand and said, Pastor, why do the senior citizen person in that stage have a cane and a briefcase? And that thing was so powerful, because the times we are in, a lot of people, when we get to that retiring age, they're still working, because the cost of living and the economy is not adding up. It's not matching. The cost of living is going up higher. And so when we get to that time, so she pointed this out. It was the baby pointed it out, right? But I'm telling you, but she said, why do the senior citizen, we understand when we get old, we're going to have a cane, right? But a cane and a briefcase? Come on. So, something really wrong with that picture, right?
Let me ask Brother Lamont a question now. How important is a pension, though? Because if a person just was living off Social Security, it's hard to live.
You need more than that.
You need more than that. And a lot of companies nowadays is not offering pensions.
Right.
So how can people get around that?
Well, you can always open up your own 401k. or IRA. I talk to clients now where they already have a 401k, but I also tell them open up an IRA for yourself, not just through your company, because you never know. Let's say all of a sudden you lose your job.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'll get hurt.
Yeah, or you gonna get hurt. At least you still have something there. You could always do your own individual 401k, and I guide them through that, and I also help them about open up a brokerage account. That's really a good avenue to have where you have liquid cash to run to if you ever need it. That also helps offset not always touching your retirement.
Okay. Well, another question, bro. I don't know. I asked you, your greatest accomplishment you're the most proud of. Did I ask you that already?
No.
What is your greatest accomplishment that you're the most proud of?
Talk
to me now. Tell me. Don't be ashamed.
Right now, creating a family legacy, and I'm doing that through a family trust.
Okay.
And a lot of us don't. A lot of us think of using wills. But when you use a will, you're always going. You still got to go to probate.
Right.
I try to prevent that for my family. So I create a family trust. So everything's documented. Whatever happens. This is what it is. So there's no fighting and back and forth and things of that nature.
Yeah, I got a will and everything. Family trust. Okay.
That's very powerful to have. You could create it any way how you want to.
I got to give you a call. Student.
And we got to have you back for a whole nother segment on that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Now, this is a question I ask everybody because everybody's faith is different. How important is faith to you? How important is faith?
It's very important to you. It's everything. Without faith, you can't do anything. You got to believe in and have faith.
Give me an example. One time you really exercise your faith, that you know that you put your trust in God and knowing that God came through for you.
Oh, it's going through hard times and just believing that he'll get me through it, and he has. When I'm young, not really understanding how life is, you're just trying to navigate through things in life. As a young man, and not really knowing. I just put my faith and trust in God. He got me through a lot of things.
We asked that question because it's funny. I always share the story, and Dr. Way hear me all the time. I remember when I had my store on Willie Avenue, right? Mm-hmm. And I had the name, but I didn't have the capital, the money that some like the Walmarts had and the Targets and all that. And when Tyler Perry first came out, I was the only one in New England selling his product.
Oh wow!
Right, and I mean the packages coming in like like I was still working at plant. I had to leave work early to go pick up the package, and sometimes I didn't have the money. Okay, I used to write out checks.
Yeah,
I wrote out a check, and I just give that UPS driver that check. All right, so that check me like $3,000, whatever. And guess what? God can't do every time.
Can't do.
Because my faith came and I got the check. That was my faith. I tell everybody that now.
Yeah.
And my wife knew it. She'll tell you right now. I wrote that check out, and I might have 4 days for that check to go through, whatever.
Right.
And every time, God came through.
That's a real blessing, though. That truly is.
Yeah, no, but see, that's all God. See, we remember, this God's our heavenly Father first.
That's right.
Okay, and God put us in. Like for example, I was telling God one day, I want to get a bigger place, right? Mm-hmm. Bigger than here. We started our television network, so I looked at the circumstance, and God said, "Do I pay the rent here?" Mm-hmm. I said, "Yeah." He said, "If I pay the rent here, why can't I pay it over there?" See, sometimes when we put God in the box. Okay, yeah. I helped out with Gospel Fest, and we had Hollaback Awards, and more than like Shirley Caesar, some big names, and we didn't operate in faith. So that's how God honor us through our faith. That's the only way He honor us. That's why I ask that question all the time. How important is faith? I want people to understand like that. Okay, now who inspired you growing up, man?
My father and my grandfather, they were very motivated in a lot of things in life. Watching them growing up, doing what they do, I was just inspired by them.
Okay. So you're inspiration to a lot of people too, man. If you don't know it or not, you got a lot of knowledge.
Thank you. Yes, I was told.
And but if you don't share knowledge, don't mean nothing.
That's what I try to really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I want to spread that information out to everybody because, we need to know. A lot of people understand how, even high yield savings, a lot of people don't even know about that.
Right.
And knowing how to open a brokerage account and what does that do. And it's just so much I want to.
Is there any books you think about writing or anything? Anything that
In the future.
Okay. See, because I'm a marketing guy. I'm the type of person I like to, I mean, I use social media, I use text. I mean, don't be surprised if you got my if I had your number in my phone, you'll get a text.
Okay.
All right, because that's how I let people know what's going on.
Right.
And it's like this here, you can have a book. If nobody read that book, it don't mean nothing.
That's right.
You can have a car. Right? The car sitting in that driveway, it don't mean nothing until you drive it.
That's right. That's
Right? It's like the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, until you open that book up and that word become alive in you, it's just an ordinary book that's sitting on the shelf.
That's right.
Until it becomes alive in us, right?
That's right.
And people gotta know about real estate too.
Yeah, that's true.
You got all the knowledge in the world. If you don't share that knowledge, people ain't gonna know.
I knew it was gonna be epic.
It's epic.
And I'm telling you, see what's so powerful because in our family, and that's a good thing that I commend you for following your father's footsteps.
That's right.
Amen. And gleaming that knowledge and that wisdom because the generation coming behind us, they need to know, right? And a lot of times we don't choose to follow those pursuits, but investment and the times we in now, that's economical power.
Yes, it is.
Right? That's why I look at it because there's a thing called economical slavery. And that's what we're dealing with a lot of times when financial woes, if like I said, inflation, we see it now. We see the tariffs and all the things that are going up, right? Yep. That is impacting us, and it's because of war. Did we start it? No.
Right.
But it's still affecting us, right? So that's why it's important that we understand and that knowledge that you have, man. And God bless you, man.
That's right.
And gotta help. We gotta help the generation coming behind us.
Right.
And enlighten them, right? And not to always go out and buy all the expensive clothes and everything. Put that money up.
Yeah.
Right. And investments, that's it.
Well, I'm proud of you, man. I'm happy of what you accomplished. Is your dad still around?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Because mine's not. Mine's passed in 07.
Okay.
And the thing about it, my dad was real stern. He was a real hard guy. Even when I have my story, he's always come up. He was very proud, but he never said it.
Right.
He wasn't the type of dad who was very affectionate. But I know my dad to be proud right now of what I accomplished. And your dad is proud of you, man.
Yes,
I mean,
several times.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good, man. And I'm telling you, man, because what you're doing is great.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work, man. Let God continue to use you. And share that knowledge, man.
Always.
Because a lot of people buying houses, which is good, and they renting them out and they're trying to make money off it. And in the neighborhoods, even on my street, man. I mean, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Because the owner's not there and they're just renting out, and the neighborhood's going down, man. But it's good to have your own house.
Yeah, even now, because now I be getting a lot of calls, right? Mm-hmm. People want to buy our property, but I'm looking for a certain amount. You know what I mean? I don't invest in. I still want to continue to invest in it, right? Mm-hmm. So and then now I hear because of everything that's going on, I know like gold, silver, those are big, a lot. That's another savings, right? Another investment, and so real estate is key, and that's why I'm not really anxious to move, the equity that I have and built up, but because I see a lot of foreigners in our neighborhood now. We having more Iranians, and but the Bible said, "Love thy neighbor as thyself," and I thank God for my neighbors. They, we help each other out. I cut their grass and stuff. Man, all this winter, man, when I to go outside to go to shovel, I ain't have to worry about it. It was already done. I'm like, man, my other neighbors, we had that same relationship, and so it's something that God is, when the demographics change in the communities, and so we still got to embrace it.
Oh, Brother Lamont, I want to thank you for stopping by W.J.R.G. Radio and Television Network with Action First Broadcast. I mean, you're a blessing, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate you too as well, man. All right.
Amen.
So you're going to close this segment out, Dr. Wayne.
Yeah. Well, yes. So how we close out, man? We definitely got to have you back, man, and we have to come. I know you got a big event coming up. Let me flash the flyer. You know, you didn't get a chance to talk about that. Talk about that event.
That's gonna be next week. Next week we have another event going on. I'm actually doing a speaking engagement. And I'm gonna be talking about real estate, stocks, credit, 401ks,
Smart money moves.
Yeah.
Where's it gonna be at? Let's talk about it.
What's gonna be at again? How you don't even have it on?
Friendship Missionary Baptist Church,
Yes.
Okay.
26 Edward Street, Fairhaven. I mean Hamden, Connecticut. I'm sorry.
What day is this again? What's the date?
April 30th.
You got a flyer, Dr. Wayne?
Yes, and it's flash. It's flashing.
Send me the flyer too, so I
Mhm.
can put it on
Mhm.
my social media page.
Yep. Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. Smart money moves. I might be there. I'll listen myself.
Mhm.
It'll be good to see you come down.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what day is that on? The 30th. That's on what day is that on?
Thursday.
That's yeah.
On Thursday.
Yeah, it's a
We're doing
Thursday.
show on Thursday.
Yeah. We'll do a rebroadcast that day.
I like to go.
Yeah, there's some good information, man. So we want to support.
Thank you.
Right. God bless you. Gonna get a picture of my
All right.
Come on.
Okay.
Right. I don't want no dead air on this video, man. So.
All right. So we're gonna run the intro.
I just put the same thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
W.J.R.G. Internet radio station, KMI TV Action First Broadcast, new edition 2026.
Choice and Connecticut's #1 gospel internet radio station and television network, part of the KMI. I'm Dr. Jerry Green, along with Dr. Wayne McCray. What's up, my brother?
Yes, sir. All right. How we doing?
We had a great
Part two.
Part two. This is part two. We had a good interview with my man Lamont Wright. So right now we have Sister Sandra Watts. How you doing, Sandra?
I'm doing good, Dr. Jerry.
First time I saw you in years.
I know. I feel honored to be in your presence.
Now you graduated 73 too with me, right?
Yes.
73? Okay.
Yes.
All right, we graduated the same year. You ought to know that.
Yes.
Same high school.
Yes.
And I was telling her my high school's inducted me into the Hall of Fame
Wonderful.
in October, Lee High School.
Okay.
So I'm like, wow. I couldn't believe it.
Wonderful.
But anyway, good to see you.
You're good to be seen.
All right, so first of all, I know you're from New Haven. Were you born and raised in New Haven?
No, I was born in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yes.
So when your moms came up to what
They migrated when I was like 9 years old. It was a big migration.
Right.
And I'm so glad they came up, and we built a family here. So it's wonderful to be in Connecticut.
Now you're an entrepreneur, which I'm very proud to hear.
Yes.
It's good to own your own.
It is wonderful.
And you got to remember the Lily Florist.
Yes.
So let's talk about what year did you start your business and what made you decide to go into business?
I started in 2009.
Wow, okay.
And maybe 10 years prior to that, my mom passed away. And the shop is named after my mom. Remember the Lilies.
Wow. Okay.
Every time I say it, it is marketing.
Right.
Because it comes from my heart. And so when people say, you know what, I chose that flower shop just because of the name, but it has a dual meaning.
So, but what made you get into the flowers, though? I mean,
well, her name was Lily. Her name is still Lily.
Okay.
And I was working at a funeral home that serviced her when she passed away, Howard K. Hill. And I was working downstairs in the basement doing flowers and a chaplain upstairs. I had like 2 incomes coming in.
That's a good move because even at funerals, a lot of people want flowers. So
there you go.
That's smart.
Yes.
That's smart. That's
so
smart.
I was getting paid twice.
Okay.
And then the Beltons called him one day and they wanted to sell him a flower shop. And he said, I don't want a flower shop, but I got a lady downstairs.
Wow.
And I was in the
That's a
right
good
place at the
testimony.
right time.
Wow.
Nothing but God.
Nothing but God.
Yes.
But you had that vision already because you was already doing flowers because your mom was
Yes.
like that.
I was actually
Wow.
doing silk flowers, silk rentals, because for our community, you know, sometimes people can't afford flowers.
Right,
So I
right.
was doing silk rentals and to help the community.
So being an entrepreneur, what is your greatest joy about owning your own business? I know it's tough now. I
Yeah.
know it's tough.
Yeah, it is a lot of work,
A lot of work.
but it's like it's your own. Like it's my mom's legacy. I represent my siblings and my grandchildren, and it's motivation. So other people see it, and then my kids want to open up their business. So it's a role model.
So where's your store located at?
1039 Dixwell Avenue in Hampton.
Right on Dixwell Avenue too.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, you are definitely a blessing. Now you mentioned you was going to move or something, right?
Yes,
Let's talk about that.
It's going to be
You're
moving
your
to
shop.
295 Treadwell in Hampton.
Okay.
And it's going to be also the flower shop with a spiritual wellness center. So we're going to incorporate some grief counseling through flowers, and we're going to do some different things there.
So how do you promote and market your business though? I mean, to get people to know about where you're located at.
Dr. Jerry, I think that you have to give. And so I have a segment called Tide Your Talent.
Okay.
So Dr. McCrae was one of the benefactors of that. And I just met them, and they said they had started a ministry. And I was like, what color is your church? And then one Sunday I just showed up with the flowers. So we've been blessed to do maybe 20 churches, and we just donate flowers.
Wow.
Yes, and she helped to make our edifice look beautiful in the pulpit area. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
now
indeed.
as far as marketing, see, I'm a marketing guy. I
Mhm.
just, that's why, because I believe in building a brand.
Right.
I mean, just like when they mentioned Jerry Green, I mean,
Mhm.
I heard of Bobby Jones, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Stephen A. Smith, whoever, and they're building a brand.
Right.
So how are you trying to build your brand through flowering? Because in other words, if someone think about flowers, you want them to think of you first,
Right.
right? You want them to come to you.
Right.
That's what when you see like McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's, all of them going at each other.
Right.
They want, and most times they show them food stores when the game is on, right?
Right.
Somebody watching a football game, they either got a pizza, they want you to order that pizza right there, right?
Mhm.
Am I right or wrong?
Oh yeah.
You're watching the game and you got Pizza Hut, you got to order from your app, so they want you to get on their phone to order, so they can send that pizza to you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about marketing in your business?
I market at the diner, Three Brothers.
Okay.
Everybody goes to Three Brothers,
That's right,
especially on
that's right.
Sunday. So I make sure
Mhm.
they have fresh flowers on the counter all the time.
Wow.
So if a new
Yeah.
business opens up and I see it on TV or somewhere on Facebook, I'm like right there.
There
If
you
someone in the community get a elevation, a fire chief or whatever, I'm like, my kids call me, Mom, get some flowers over there. So we advertise by donating.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize how important marketing is, and and promotion.
Mhm.
Because if you don't put the work in,
Yeah.
you got to put that work in it, man. And a lot of people want to go into business,
Right.
you don't realize it's work involved. Faith without works is what Bishop Pastor is dead.
Mhm.
You got to have that work. All right, now you're a minister as well. You're a minister or you're an elder.
Elder.
All right, let's talk about that.
Okay.
You met the Lord and God blessed you with your business. And
Yes.
let's talk about your church and everything.
Yes. The name of the church is the Encounter Hub.
Okay.
And so I thought it was important because a hub is like Amazon.
Hmm.
It kind of branches out, it blooms, it
Mhm.
grows. So the Encounter Hub is an effective center of an activity or network. It's the core value of something. Like
Mhm.
Amazon could branch out because they had established a healthy empire.
Mhm.
So the hub we came from different churches. I came out of Beulah Heights,
That's right. That's right.
and all of the members of the hub, and we came together because we had a strong foundation. So the hub is like a center where my pastor is my daughter, because I think that that's important.
That's right.
That when you can have your family in ministry with you,
Wow.
that's my daughter.
That's real important.
And we're showing a role model of how it works when a mother and a daughter works together.
Mm.
Like Dr. Jerry Green said, we're 70. and we know our place.
Right.
So we're trying to build that legacy. So having the counter hub is just so precious because it's my daughter and it's my son is involved and my grandchildren. So
So you're a proud mom because your daughter has
absolutely.
Oh my God, you couldn't ask for anything better, man.
Wow.
You couldn't ask for nothing better.
That's a healthy church, right?
Yeah.
Families involved.
Listen, if I could just jump in there, I know that thing, man. Listen, another epic moment. You know, that you just said something very powerful because when the Bible talks about the relationship and family, when you can submit to your daughter's anointing and God, man, that says a lot. That speaks volume to, the faith, because it's, we have our family position, but then in God, when God positioned, because it's that oneness, right? And that's the Christ likeness. So, but I thank God for that. That's powerful. That's powerful.
It is. So we're speaking live with Sister Sandra Watts. She's the owner of Remember the Lily Florist on Dixwell Avenue. Like I asked my brother over here, how important is faith to you? You give me an example of how God, touched you in your faith walk.
Faith is everything because you can't please God without it, and it doesn't take a lot. It just take a mustard seed. So it's like faith has been everything because I'm in an industry where we're not represented.
Right. Okay.
Christians, because I'm a licensed chaplain, so you're not supposed to be doing a lot of things like that in your business. So, it's challenging because, and one of the things that I'm going to start doing is the next level for me at 70 is that I want to teach our people how to preserve flowers because there's a lot of black dollars that go into purchasing flowers.
Right.
People don't know how to preserve them. They don't know the names of them. And so we're starting at this center. We're going to start doing workshops where people can come in and learn about flowers and plant life and things like that.
And keep in mind, whatever you need from a media standpoint, don't be afraid to hesitate. Call me because that's what we do. Because I want to see our people come together.
Yeah.
Come together. And I speak of faith, and I ask these questions for a reason because I want to test people to see how big their faith is. It's funny. I mentioned this last week. I remember when I first got saved back in the '84. And I went to see Jimmy Swagger at the UN Coliseum. He was preaching there, and I saw Dr. Fred Price at Madison Square Garden, and it was free. Right? They didn't charge a dime. When you go see Earth, Wind & Fire, you had to pay money, right? Up front. Michael Jackson, you had to pay up front, advance tickets. It was free. And me being a young guy, it inspired me because I said, man, you got to pay for the Coliseum. You got to pay for the hotels. You got to pay for the sound. You got to pay for your entourage, right? And it's free. And they collected an offering, but that encouraged my faith because I said to myself, man, Dr. Fred Price, the same way at the Garden. And I said to myself, man, if God can bless them, even go to a nightclub, you got to pay at the door to get in, right? I said that inspired me in my faith. I said, if God can do it for them, even though might be my little faith, but it grows. And that's why when we did our Gospel Fest, the Hollaback Awards, and even with the cello, I said, if God can bless Jimmy Swagger was on television, never, why can he bless us? Absolutely. See, we got to start looking at, the big picture. Because God is a big God.
Yes.
God is, whatever how big your faith is, that's how God is. Because there's no limit to God. That's why what you do in your business, I applaud that. Because a lot of people are afraid to step out and start doing business because they're afraid of failure. And God is no failure.
There is no failure.
No failure. That's why I applaud you for what you're doing. All right, your greatest accomplishment you're the most proud of too. I asked my brother that same question. You tell me your accomplishment.
I think it's my family. I have 5 adult children.
Okay.
And oh my God, I'm such a proud mother. Like they make me happy. I'm a caregiver, and we come together and they take care of their dad. The grandchildren take care of them. Everybody just jumps in. So I think my proudest moment, after being married 54 years, is you know, my family still being a family in difficult times and challenging times. And everybody comes. I think that's my proudest moment is when my kids come in and say, "Ma, you go and get your feet done or something," and you know they checking on me and take me on vacation. I think that's my fruit. You know, that's my proudest moment.
She proudest moment. All right. All right. Dr. Wayne, give me your proudest moment, man. I mean, I gotta get you involved for a second, man. Give me a moment, man, that you can say that you're most proud of, man.
Well, I'm most proud of turning my life completely over to the Lord and being a servant. That's what I'm most proud of, because as we serve, God adds to us, you know. I thank God, for when we started doing this podcast, during the pandemic, it was a lot that, there was a breakdown in communication. And so we developed this way to communicate, and where we weren't able to leave our homes and everything. And so we was doing it virtually. And so, it expanded.
We do it virtual, right?
Yeah. And it expanded.
I was happy about it. I didn't know him at first. And I know a lot of people always come to me about they want to do certain things, right? And I got to make sure that they're on the same page I'm on. In other words, if you tell me I'm gonna meet you at 4:00 and you don't show up, I'll give you a couple times. I'll give you a couple times. After that, you let me know we're not on the same page. He always been consistent. So that's why I do. We've been doing about 5 years now, 6 years.
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Long time. Years, yeah. And the brother's consistent, and I'm very proud of that. Okay, what's the plans for you for the remainder of this year, 2026?
Momentum. I'm just keeping it moving, and I'm taking somebody with me.
All right.
So it's one thing to move, but one of the things I do, which I'm very proud of, is that we take small businesses and we take their products and sell them in the store and use it as a showcase.
Okay.
So that they can have an opportunity to build their business.
Okay.
And moving to the new location is very exciting. Wow. It's called the next level.
Next level.
And we're going to have some exciting things like one-on-ones. You come in and make your own flowers, like a little flower booth, your own time, and with some music or whatever, and just therapy, do flowers. So that's the next level.
Well, Cindy, I want to say I am so proud of all your accomplishments. And like I said, we graduated the same year. And when last time we saw each other, would you say?
Well, I have my eye on you because you'd be all over the place. You're famous. Don't be playing us now.
No.
I go sit somewhere and think I'm being honored, and his pastor is talking about him.
He called me earlier too. We got to make a phone call tomorrow. We got an artist that's coming in July 19th, I think, and so we got to get together with him. Yeah, me and Pastor Miller, because he's the one that Pratt with me as well.
Yeah,
with me. That's why I met him. And the funny thing about it, when we walk by each other every day to say how you doing, that was it. Remember, I don't know. We wasn't. If you'd have told me 25 years ago to be my pastor, get out of here, please. But God works in ways that we can't figure out. Like that. But I'm so proud of you and what you accomplished, and what you're doing, and my man over there too. I'm so proud of you too, brother. Y'all do the great work in our community. And the community got to appreciate what we're doing as well. Keep up the great work, all right?
Amen.
God bless. I know we got Bishop Steve coming up next, right? At 7. He's out there?
No, he show up, but he should be here.
But I just wanted to point out something too. And
this is my friend Big Don, too. Big Don. Oh, yeah, Blue Lies, right. Blue Lies. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Don.
One elder to talk about, because it's an image here, with the focus and the flowers. It's going to pop up in a minute. Just talk a little bit about that, because, a lot of things I think about, and God bless you for all that you do with how the arrangements, the things that you provide, giving people their flowers before we go to a funeral or something. But it's really a gift, and I know you were sharing some things that you're doing with the youth there, though it just popped up, but with some things with the youth. Just talk a little bit about this program that you're doing for the youth and encouraging, because that's a good seed to plant now in these young people, and that they can appreciate and then be able to be creative in these ways, because it's a legacy that got to go on to the next generation, right? Right.
It's
So,
a community legacy.
okay.
So next week we're going to be at Career, and we're going to do a Mother's Day flower arrangement class, and this is a sample of it here. So I called the school. Well, actually, they asked me for a donation for the basketball, and I was like, sure. So I gave them a donation, started a conversation, and she said, maybe you can come in and do a flower design class. So we customize these flower design class. We do them for children, special ed, like children that are young, artistic, whatever. We do all kinds. We do them for churches. Why does roses have thorns? We customize it. We do them for bridal showers. So we do them for elderly, nursing homes and different things. And it could be customized faith and flowers, or it could be focused on flowers depending on the atmosphere. And it's a wonderful way for people to come together, make flowers for their mom, make flowers for their friend. And it's an experience.
Amen.
It is truly an experience.
All right, well, we gotta shut down because I got Bishop Steve coming up next with Power of Prayer Outreach Ministries with Big Don. And I want to thank you once again, Sandra, for stopping by. You're a blessing to the community, and keep up the great work. All right.
And Dr. Jerry Green, I am honored to be in your presence.
Y'all need to stop saying that.
Yeah, I mean it. And
what's funny?
The same way that I do.
What's funny? Cause my wife, she don't go with me too much for chemo, right? She went with me yesterday. They had to take the pump off, right? So we walk in the door. The security guard, Brother Jerry Green, you got your wife with you today. He said, got your friend, that's my wife, like that. I said, keep it down, bro. Keep it down. I want everybody keep it down. You gotta, he was all happy, all excited every time I go there. But it's good to be, to be known like that. But I give God all the glory, and we go back. Like I said, 70 years old, still kicking.
That's right.
Praise
and
God.
even for your wife.
Thank you. She's gonna be happy with those too. She like flowers. She gonna say, "Who gave me those flowers?" It's a friend of mine. It's all good. All right,
well, praise God. Well, listen, only thing I could say at this time, I want to thank you for taking action first here at W.J.R.G., an internet radio station, and Action First broadcast. And we definitely got to have you back. And we're going to come on location where you at and do some coverage there. All right. But I want to thank you for taking action first. So if you could just say that with me, just say action first. All right.
That picture down.
All right.
Close it out.
Amen.